Well, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about this Vero Engineering Isotope. And how do I feel about it? I don't like it. So let's look at it from above. You guys know what time it is. Turn down the volume. Here comes a little bit of music. Guys, just a quick disclaimer. This is going to be a negative review. I don't like to do them very often, but every once in a while there are knives. Sorry, I could grab my reading glasses because I'm old. Every once in a while there are knives that come in that there's just so much wrong with them that I just feel that I owe you guys a little bit of a look at it so you can see the negative stuff. So we're going to get into that now. If you like this knife, that's fine. I know that there are people that love this knife. It's probably great for them. I am not of that camp. I really don't like this knife. I think there's too much wrong with it at the price point, and I think it's overpriced. But we're going to get into a lot of that after we look at the specs. So I'm not going to get the calipers out. I'm not going to do any of that. So what are you looking at? You are looking at an 8.8 inch overall length with an M390 drop point or clip point, depending. This is just a drop point at this point. M390 blade. This one has got the hand rub satin on it. Now, I will say, cool thing, lots of multiple finish options, lots of inlay options, things like that. So you get a lot of customization and ability on this knife. Your handle length, you're looking at 4.9 inches. It's done in titanium as an integral frame lock with inlays. Now you can get multiple inlays. Like I said, there's carbon fiber, there's micarta, there's wood, all kinds of different options that you can get, which I'm cool with that. And I've seen some of the other designs that I like way better than this. Like I said, runs on bearings. The action on it is really smooth. Coming in right at 5 ounces. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So when you first look at this knife, you're like, okay, that's a decent looking knife. I'm never going to say that this knife was not well made. Quality machining. I'm not 100% sure who did the OEM on this. But Joseph Vero, there you go, Joseph Vero, put some thought into this, and there is a lot of quality control and things that went into this. This is not a poorly made knife. Let's get that out of the way. I just personally feel that the design was poorly thought out. So, yeah, what are we looking at here that really bothers me? There's so much at play here. You have a gorgeous, I'm not going to lie, this is a gorgeous blade. The cutting I did do with it, it cuts so well. It is a beautifully well-shaped, well-done blade. M390, it holds its edge. It is ridiculously sharp, and it is a very well-done, well-looking blade. Where I start running into issues is from the pivot back. So, you got a good blade. I would have brought the choil a little further forward, but that's not a showstopper. You could do that on your own. So you're not looking at a lot of horrible on the blade. Very, very good blade. I really do like it. The flipper aperture is unusual that it's not on both sides, which if you're appealing to the left-handed crowd, not such a good deal, it could have easily had that on both sides or all the way through. So I do like it. The action on it is really, really good. Now let's get into some of the negative Nancy stuff. First and foremost, I am not a fan of integrals. This is a very heavy knife. There is a lot of over when it comes to integral. They are overhyped, they are overpriced, and they are overweight. An integral, and they're overly complicated. So an integral is always going to be overpriced, overweight, overhyped, and there's so many things about an integral that make it more costly because they are more difficult to do. So you're not allowing yourself any wiggle room. This is one solid piece. You don't have anything that you can do inside of here really And they came out and they were pretty cool because they were just a way for companies to show, hey, look what we can do. I'm not a fan of them. I think they're overpriced. They're definitely too heavy. All integrals are way heavier than your commonplace two-piece construction knife because there's so much more you can do on one of these. And they're going to be overpriced because of the complexity of the machining that you have to do to get them right. Other things I don't like about it. I'm not a big fan of this flipper tab being up here. It's not in a position where I'm in a natural position, but it is not horrible. The action is not bad. So then we start getting into the stuff that is bad. Like I said, it's an integral. I'm not a fan of them. This pocket clip is hideous. First of all, it's a hot spot. Such an incredible hot spot. An integral, if you're going to make an integral, you should probably make it a little more comfortable and balanced, and this pocket clip just isn't it. And then on top of that, for as stiff and everything as it is, it doesn't sit in your pocket real well. Let's go ahead and I'll pull it in and out, put it in and out pocket. It sits okay in heavier pants. Like I'm wearing a pair of 511s, which are really thick because I was doing some other stuff outside and I didn't want to ruin a pair of jeans. This does not sit well in a pair of jeans. If the material's thin, it has a tendency to like to walk around and move and get out of the position you want it in. Track pants, give it up. On top of that, if you're wearing track pants or shorts, basketball shorts, this is an anchor and it's going to pull your pants down. So there's that, just the weight and pocket clip carry. Then you have the fact that this catches material. I am not a fan of the outside. I do understand it probably was kind of difficult. It would be difficult to do this on the inside of an integral. Another reason I'm not a fan of an integral. You limit yourself. But besides that, you start getting into then once you get it in hand. So that's not big enough for two fingers, and it's not comfortable to grip back on it back here and only have one finger in it. That's supposed to be for two fingers. The only other option is to get that finger in there and then up. So that's one of your options there. These are really sharp. Hang on just a second. Sorry about that, guys. The deep freeze was squeaking. You have to go move it every once in a while. So like I was saying, on top of the fact that that's not really well thought out, not enough room for two fingers, finger and a half at best, it puts your fingers right on a point here where they have thinned that material down and scalloped it out, and now you have a hot spot there. So it's sharp right there. So to get in on it, you're forced into that grip, or you have to do this, which is not comfortable and honestly dangerous because you can slip up and onto the blade, which is very, very sharp. So there's that issue. Next problem I have, the typical way that a knife is made is that you scallop these areas out, and then this side is typically a little bit larger or taller, I should say, to allow you access. But if you look here, what they've done is this side's actually lower. So as opposed to something like this, where you have this scalloped out, and then there's a little bit higher ridge here on one side than the other. It doesn't have to be real prominent, but something that it allows you to stick your finger in and then get on the lock bar access. You don't have that here. It actually makes it more difficult, and you're more prone to miss your lock bar. So I'm not at all a fan of that. It's exactly the opposite of what I would expect. But like I said, really good machining on this. Like, I mean, how much money do you spend into something before you realize that you have a turd? The lock bar insert is really well placed, and you can almost not see that it's there. But then that gets us into the next issue. So we've already discussed a couple things. Once you're in here and you've gotten yourself in here, the tendency is that you're going to put this finger here and it's going to push you further down into that groove. Well, that's where this becomes an issue. That is very sharp. And I don't mean, it's a little sharp line. Like I have other knives that have that. It doesn't really bother me. This is a knife that just recently came in at Tucson, much cheaper knife. They just simply chamfered that off. There is no real sharp spot on that. A lot of knives have that where it comes up, but it's chamfered off or knocked off or filleted off. And in this case, they have absolutely made it even worse because not only they did it there, but then they left that point right there. So yeah, did they knock the edges off of that? Yeah, they did. But why leave that? Why would you go and leave that? Because now when you get this finger up here that's pushing your other finger down in because you're cramped anyway, now you're pushing yourself up into basically what's a chisel, and it's uncomfortable. And then there's just the sheer weight of this trying to carry it. It's not good in pocket. It really isn't. There's just so many things that are at play that could have been done so much better. And then that pocket clip this catches on everything. As opposed to some of the other pocket clips I have that do have like that large lip in there, this catches on everything, and it's really square, it's really thick, and it's uncomfortable. So I do know there's a lot of people that love this knife. And if you love this knife, don't take anything I say to heart. You know, I don't need the fanboys going in and white knighting for Vero Engineering in my comments. It's just like Spyderco and all those other companies. They don't care about you. They really don't. They made a knife. If you bought it, good. If you didn't buy it, oh well, don't buy it. They are not at all going to have your back because you decided to white knight for the company. Now, I will say that with a few minor changes, that this knife could be great. It is a beautiful blade shape, and it's not an unattractive handle. It's just it could have been done a little bit better. Scallop this out, bring it up gently, things like that. But as far as like lines of the knife, nice and clean. I like the fact that you have this border around. That is the ice maker, by the way, guys. That's the sound you guys hear. It could have been so much better if it had just, this is one of those knives that should have went out to people like me that are going to give an honest review. A lot of times knives and prototypes go out to people that are popular and are only going to say nice things about a knife. I am not that person. So I would like to see more knives come to me, more prototypes, so they can give an honest opinion. I'm not hacking on it. If Joseph has any questions, it's all just the ergos. It's all ergos. There's nothing else wrong with the knife. The construction standards, the fit and finish, all of those things are great. The action, all of it. It's just that those few things just make it so bad, especially when you look at the base price for this knife. Even before, this is a hand rub satin. That's an additional price. This knife base price $450. So at that price, there's just too many things wrong with it. So guys, that's pretty much all I've got on it. I don't like doing negative reviews. And like I said, these are just my opinions. If you like them, that's fine. I personally, there's not much you're going to be able to tell me that would change my opinion of the knife. But I have seen some of the other Vero Engineering designs, and I like them way better. They are way nicer. They're better aesthetically. And I'm just, like I said, I'm not a fan of integrals. But when you start looking at how thick this integral is, and how much material's there, it's heavy. 5 ounces. 5 ounces is heavy for a knife that size. This knife is half that size, or half that weight, and it's the same size. And it doesn't have any of those ergonomic issues. So there you go, guys. Let's turn this around and do some final thoughts. And like I said, I hope that you're not taking anything I said personally. These are just my opinions. Guys, like I say, I don't like to do negative reviews, but there was enough wrong with this that I just felt like it kind of needed it. I don't do them very often. Usually if there's just a knife I don't like, well, a lot of times I just won't do the final review. I'll do the first day in pockets, maybe do an update. I'll do the unboxing, then the first day in pockets, kind of notice those things there. But there's just enough wrong with this that I kind of felt like I needed to. So I'm kind of glad that the Vero Engineering does not engineer bridges. So guys, that's it on this one. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. But please try to tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. But if you do hit the bell icon, make sure you hit the notifications on your device and make sure they're turned on, or you won't get notified of the 2 videos, sometimes even a short midday, that I put up every day. Other ways you can support the channel if you want to do it financially, I have a membership down below that's tier-based. Go down, take a look at what I offer, and pick the tier that suits you best. But everyone gets $5 off my sharpening service, and everyone has access to my Gilded server where we chat and have a lot of fun. If you are a premium tier member, you have access to a sharpening tutorial series I've built for those guys. Other ways you can do it, I have a bunch of affiliate links down below. The newest one is Blade HQ and Coffee Brand Coffee. So if you need to buy a knife, I would appreciate if you use my Blade HQ link. And if you want coffee, that has no politics, no pandering, just coffee. Go to Coffee Brand Coffee. And the final way is I have a merchandise store down below. Anything you purchase on Ember Shirt Co., I can save you 10% at checkout with a coupon code CrazySharp, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, all one word, saves you 10% at checkout. Guys, that's it. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comments section. It helps me moderate the channel. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I will see you in the next video. And once again, I definitely regret having a chair that spins, because this is what you're going to get in every outro. Guys, see you next time.